welcome to day 2 of Precious.Collective online week 21, live from Spam Glam's garden, and today is our Mixed Materials Day. So we have a few treats for you today, a few chats and interviews lined up, and right now I'm just about to speak to Federica Pallaver. Forgive me if I pronounced your name wrong, but let me come and find you, my love, and let's have a little chat. You'll also have to forgive in the background. I have mini spam here, well, one of the mini spams. So if you hear any screeching or noises, it's not me, but it is coming from my end. See if she's here with us. And hopefully we can have a nice little morning chat. Federica! Ciao!
Hi!
How are you?
Ciao!
My it's terrible. I say buonasera, but that's all.
Buongiorno!
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 Ah, how are you?
Fine, thank you. I'm really happy.
Oh, fantastic. So are we. Oh,
And
you'll have
this
to
is Irene. I'm the translator.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Ah, so Federica, whereabouts are you then for all our viewers, for people watching? Where are you?
I'm in Bolzano, in the north of Italy. This is a small city in the north of Italy, near Austria.
Oh, fantastic.
So I can better speak German than English.
Oh, I wish I could help you there as well, but my German is limited to asking for apples. That's all.
There is the land of apple. Bolzano is the land of apple. You are right.
So
But
the
today
real
I have a tomato.
a tomato.
Today I have a tomato.
Oh my gosh, that's a planet, not a tomato.
Yes.
How wonderful. Gosh, maybe I need to come to the north of Italy to get my tomatoes.
Yeah. Perhaps not. Better apple.
Yeah. So Federica, the real reason we're here is because you're part of the artists exhibiting in the Mixed Materials section of exhibition of Precious.Collective Online Jewellery Week this week. And we would love, I particularly would love, as well as the audience, to know more about the work that you are creating and have sent through to the collection.
Okay, it will say everything Irene, okay? So, yeah, well, I studied to be a goldsmith, but then I met contemporary jewelry. In particular, in the Paduan school, where I worked with Giampaolo Babetto, Graziano Visintin, Anna Maria Zanella, Giovanni Corvaia, and Barbara Paganin. In their works, I saw an expression, not an ornament, a mere ornament. For a long time, I worked under their influence, and now I think, and maybe I hope, to having found my own way. Architecture and construction are the basis of my jewelry making, while all the events around me and in our world inspire me for my artistic expression.
Well, it's interesting that you're saying about the architectural element, because when I was looking at your work and trying to find out more before we have this chat, the really strong feeling I got was the architectural feel, the not just of the aesthetic, of the physical piece, but of how you put the materials together as well. That combination of materials felt very architectural as well. Can I ask why you choose to work with the materials you work with?
I am sorry, we can't hear you very well. Can you repeat the question?
Of course, sorry. I also have a 2-year-old who is singing in the background, so ignore the singing.
Okay, that's fine.
I wanted to ask why, what your choice of materials, why you choose to work with the materials that you work with.
Dipende dai problemi che trovo.
Okay, so it depends on the problems, on the issues she wanted to represent. In this case, mainly we can say that she uses like some junk and some reused materials to express the problematic of the space junk there is in the universe, like debris released by old launch vehicles or produced by satellite explosions or collisions. And so she decided the materials based on what is the issue she wanted to represent.
Okay, so for you, the materials are the language.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's interesting, really interesting. And so the materials I've noticed you're working with now are metals and enamels, acrylic enamels as well.
I didn't understand, sorry.
Oh, sorry. So the materials you're currently working with, you're working with now, are metals and acrylic enamels?
Io
Yeah.
in realtà lavoro sempre con materiali nobili, è tutto o argento o oro che poi maschero e li metto, mi interessa più la combinazione.
Okay, so she works mainly with noble materials, so as silver and gold and as these. But she tries to hide them in some way and to modify them to become something else. And I don't know, to express something more. She tries to mask them into something else, into the things she wanted to represent and to say with this jewelry.
The relationship is for me important.
Yeah, I can see that very much in the work, with like just seeing it. I can see the conversations with the materials, and
Yes.
yeah, it's really interesting. I think some people may not understand why art jewelers or contemporary jewelers combine alternative materials with more precious materials, and it's sometimes hard to see the new value. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
what made you want to explore the new materials that you work with?
Non è mai importante, cioè per me è sempre importante la relazione più che i materiali.
Mm-hmm. So it's always more important to watch the relationship these materials have with each other and what you can say about this relation and not the material itself. So the material comes after the idea. She talks about the relations more than the material itself.
Fantastic. So you are not prejudiced on any material. You will work with anything.
Almost, yeah.
Almost.
It's
That's
possible,
right.
yes. E voglio portare la materia, cioè e seguo anche la materia.
Okay, so she follows the materials and she wants to bring them and she tries to understand what they could and they must do and relate to each other.
Ah, this is lovely. Yeah, they're creating the harmony with
Yes, exactly.
with the material. Yeah.
Sì, può essere anche elementi che esprimono una fragilità e che però riescono a stare in piedi in questo equilibrio precario.
Okay, so even maybe some materials that are fragile and not so strong, but they have this sort of balance they can keep. And the interesting part is to find how the relation between these objects and these materials can bring this balance, even if the single materials are not as strong as they could be.
Oh, brilliant. So your process must take a long time. If you're
Yes,
exploring and designing and making, it must take
yes,
time.
yes.
Can you talk me through this process a bit more, maybe?
Tutto il processo, e puoi parlare anche ad esempio di questo. Non del primo, cioè che ad esempio qua ho preso, avevo dei ricami antichi.
Okay, then, well, we could talk about this project she has made for this collection.
Can I ask you to turn the phone around to the other side so maybe the viewers can see them not looking sideways? Maybe the camera, can you turn the phone to the side? Because everything, I'm seeing it sideways.
Sorry. So for this piece, she started of this brooch, like the one you can see bigger here in the front, and it was an old piece of embroidery. And what interested me was not so much its symbolic value, but mainly the texture. So she melted it and discovered that the result in shibuishi is more interesting than the original embroidery. So she followed what the material took her and where the material took her. And with this brooch, she wanted to express a tension between this indefinite texture and the architectural construction. And the miniature is waiting, as you can see in the name, suspended in between this tension. So this is the thoughts she followed.
It's lovely because there is a story, there's a conversation in the brooch and also between the materials, which is lovely.
Thank you. E ad esempio questo invece che ho usato, sì, questo che ho usato, questo resto di resina, cioè che ho prodotto negli anni.
Yeah, for example, for this ring, she used an epoxy resin that she produced in the years. So it's the result of many years of accumulation of epoxy resins leavings. And she waited to have the perfect combination, the perfect quantity that she wanted for this ring. She used the rest of what she used before.
That's lovely. So that's a labor of love.
Yes.
That's a long time making and working with the process.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really interesting to see. I work with very short processes. I like it take a long time to make, but very short.
Yes.
It's fascinating to see processes that take so much time and so much consideration. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. E poi sì, thank you.
So can I ask you what?
Questa se vuoi possiamo.
Sorry.
I didn't hear.
Tell us.
So no, I didn't realize there was another piece coming up as well. I would rather see the piece. Show me and talk to me about the piece.
Okay, so this is the space junk we talked about before. This is part of a project, an entire project she began in 2014. And the aim is to draw attention to the problem of space debris or space pollution. And this is all the human-made objects left in the Earth's orbit, and such as spacecraft or debris released by old launch vehicles and something like that, that they are in space and they are junk, basically. So she wanted to underline this issue. And for the details of this project, she tells you to look at her website, where it's everything well explained. And in this case, she used an old amplifier tube and colors, and for the brown patina, she melted amber she just, as we said before, she just followed what the materials told her to do. So for this brown, she wanted to use amber, and she melted it. And she used this technique also many years ago for a collection that she presented in the Amber Museum in Russia, in Kaliningrad. So she used already this technique.
So again, it's the evolution of processes that take a lifetime. It must be very difficult when you finish a piece to say it's finished. If you're taking so long on the process and enjoying those materials so much, that must be very difficult.
Yes, it is.
So tell me, Federica, what's your next project? What are you working on now?
Lavoro sempre sull'architettura in realtà.
Mostly on architecture. Yeah,
Yes.
she follows this way in this period.
E mi piacerebbe partecipare ad altre mostre e sicuramente anche spero che sì, e anche il fatto di poter ritornare anche a incontrare le persone.
So she's hoping to participate in more collections and exhibitions in the future, to have the reason, something to think about and something to create for. And she's hoping, I don't know, to find some idea to bring to other exhibitions. So mostly architecture in these moments, but you never know.
True. So you wait for an open call, maybe something with a subject that inspires you to get creating and making.
Yes, easily, yeah. It can be said like this.
My heart goes with you with this one. I'm the same. I like to work this way as well. An open call, subject, and then the work goes.
E poi possiamo dire che insieme a un'altra mia amica ho incominciato a fare questi colletti.
Oh, okay. So together with one of her friends, she started to do this piece of dressing, the neck one, like
Collar,
right
like a
here.
collar. Yeah.
Yeah, collar. Yeah, exactly. As you can see, is some way a piece of architecture too, because you can see these ones that are tridimensional, obviously. So with one of her friends, she started to think about this project and do things like this.
It's lovely how it comes off the body. It suits you very much. But it's lovely how it comes off the body, like a building, like a structure.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is work in progress. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing this with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Can I ask one last question before we finish our chat? What would you like to leave our viewers with? Do you have one last thing that you would like to say to our audience, to the precious audience, or anyone who does not know your work yet?
Di credere in se stessi e di proseguire.
Okay. So to believe in what you're doing and in yourself, and to follow what your mind takes to, and where the objects you're creating take you.
E credere nei sogni.
And to believe in your dreams and what you want to do, what you really want and hope to do.
This is a wonderful thing to end with. Unfortunately, you can hear my boss is telling me that it's time.
Okay. It's a nice song.
She's very loud. Yes, she's very loud. Federica, it has been a real pleasure to meet you, to talk about your work, to find out more, and thank you so much for sharing and being so generous with us.
I'm really happy to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you to our audience for being there, for checking it out, and hopefully we'll get to meet again soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Bye.
And bye. And for our audience that are still out there or catching up on this, we have 2 more interviews today at 2:30, I believe, this afternoon.
Yes.
The information's on the Instagram. So, and good luck with the show this evening. I hope it goes well.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Ciao. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.